Good morning. I am Steve Weber. Welcome to the American Gumption Morning Show. I am the host of the show. And American Gumption showcases ordinary individuals who are living extraordinary lives. And the reason that we like to highlight the ordinary and extraordinary is because we believe the world needs more positivity and encouragement, and those folks can provide it. And I also happen to believe that everybody is both ordinary and extraordinary. So the goal of the show is to help those who want to awaken, and then to help those awakened ones live their lives with gumption. All righty. Well, good morning. Welcome to today's show. Today's show number 202. And it's Tuesday, July 13th. And my monologue this morning is going to be, let's see, what is it? I know what it is. Oh, it's pretending. Yes, it's pretending. I'm going to talk about pretending. And I have a great guest coming up. Her name is Reverend Wanda Richert, and she is going to join us at about 12, 13 minutes from now after I do the monologue. And she's going to talk about her she's going to talk about her transition from her Broadway career, multiple decades long, and how she has become an activist for humanity and someone who cares about the healing of our people and planet and all that's good. So we are moving into the age of Aquarius, and Reverend Wanda Richert is going to share her story with us. All righty. So that is that's pretty much, I think, let me tell you what's happening coming up here. So my plan is to do shows the rest of the week. I do not have a guest tomorrow. I'll probably do a monologue show. We'll see what happens. Scott Stanfield, the modern longevitarian, he joins us tomorrow, and we're going to talk about kind of the post-COVID anxiety and getting back to whatever the new world order is. All righty, and then next week I have Aaron Avia and Deborah Sweezy joining us, and they have a program, Stroke TV. So that's going to be a fun interview, and I'm also going to be interviewing Dr. Robin Rise. Dr. Robin Rise. She's a psychotherapist and a new age healer in this world. So anyway, I got some good people coming up, and we're going to just keep this show rolling along. All righty. So let's go ahead and jump into the monologue, and I'm calling it Pretending. Can you believe it? We're going to talk about pretending. And I had the opportunity to pretend that I was Forrest Gump for 15 years. I sat on the bench and I pretended that I was Forrest Gump. Well, it wasn't like I was pretending. I mean, I sort of became the character, but that's what I wanted to share with you this morning and let you know about. So yeah, I was Forrest Gump for 15 years, from 1996 to 2011. And, Bubba Gump was great. They let me kind of just do my own thing. They were busy trying to figure out how to run a restaurant, and they were kind and gracious enough to hire me and to let me just sit on the bench and kind of just do my own thing. And so I had a great experience with it. They did give me there was lots of different things that they suggested, but there was one thing that really stood out as I was learning how to do this. And that was that, you never want to break character. You want to stay, you are Forrest Gump. I remember Dave Trombetta, who I've interviewed on the show, saying, you are Forrest Gump. Do not tell anybody that you're Steve Weber. You're Forrest Gump. You got to be the character 100%. And so, maybe my ego, maybe my sense of truth, thought, well, gee, Anyway, I embraced the role, and I became Forrest Gump, and that's what happened. Now, there was one story that I'm going to share. I've shared this story before, but it's worth repeating. I was sitting there. This is early on. This is only probably, maybe the first month or two. And I'm sitting there, and this group of preteen girls come up. You've all seen like at the mall or someplace out, there's like a little pack of girls, and they're like, what, I don't know how old they are. They're 10, 11, 12, 13. They're kind of like just right at the beginning of the teenage years, and they're all together. And there's this one girl who's obviously the leader, and she comes right up, and all the other girls follow along, and they're right with her. And she says, "Are you the real Forrest Gump?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm the real Forrest Gump." And all the girls swoon and go, "Oh!" And then they said, "Are you the one they made the movie about?" And I think real quick, and I go, "Sure, I'm the one they made the movie about." And then she said, "Are you the actor? Are you Tom H?" And I said, "No, I'm not." And she went, "Oh, that stinks." And all the girls walked away, and they were dejected, and they were not happy with that answer. They were not happy with that answer. So anyway, I had to think about that. And so, am I the real Forrest Gump? Yeah, I could tell that little white lie. Am I the one they made the movie about? Yes, I could tell that little white lie. Why not? And then, are you the actor? That was like kind of one of those things that I couldn't say, no, I'm not the actor. And then that's what happened when I invented the story that, yes, I'm the real Forrest Gump. I'm the one they made the movie about. The other man was just an actor, and they hired him to play me. And they only hired him because he looks like me. And I told that little white lie thousands of times, maybe 1,000,000 times. I mean, I used that line over and over and over again, every day when I was working, every day when I was interacting with people, because people always wanted to know if I was the real Forrest Gump. Now, it was funny because with kids, it was cute, and they would go, "Wow." And then there would also be adults sometimes who would I would tell that story to, and they'd be like, "Oh," and they didn't realize I was kind of pulling their leg with it all, but that was okay. So anyway, I was pretending. I was pretending that I was the real Forrest Gump, and it was acting. And it was innocent, and it was fun, and it was a fantasy. It was a fantasy for me, and it was a fantasy for the people who. It wasn't so much a fantasy for me because I knew what was going on, but it was a fantasy for the people that came up and interacted with me, and they knew, other than kids, they knew that it was like, we were just playing and having fun with it, but it was like that fanciness, that moment of like escapism that you get to go and enjoy life and just, live in that moment of love and happiness and joy. And it was all like, it was not hurting anybody. So we had a lot of fun with it. The restaurant workers, especially the servers, and I got to know many of them, and they were young kids. I was 20 years older than all of them, but so they were like in their late teens or early 20s, and they were play acting, and they had a role to play also. And what that was all about was, they had a script to follow. What do you want to eat? Oh, we're fun here, Bubba Gump. Everything's all, live and cheerful and going along. So it was kind of a fun thing, and people loved it. Again, I compared it to my sales career. For 10 years prior to becoming Forrest Gump, I was selling products, and I worked for, 4 different companies during a 10-year period. And each time I'd go into that new role, I'd have to learn the product, and I learned the company. And day one, I'm out there, representing them. And it was like a play acting thing. It was, it was pretending, pretend. And then you kind of faked it till you made it. There was a story where, I remember the people who first came up to me, and they would say, and this is like when I first started being Forrest Gump, and they say, "Is the restaurant good?" And I say, "It's really good." And I didn't know if it was really good or not, because it was a brand new restaurant, but I was hired to, represent them. And so I was certainly going to say, it was good. But when those people came back out, I would always ask them, "How was it?" And they say, "Oh, it was really good." And that allowed me to have the confidence to not just say it was really good, but to know it was really good, because people had fun with it. They had a good time, and they had a good meal, and it was a good value. So, so we were all pretending, and yet like there was an illusion, and yet it was real, and it was fun, and it wasn't hurting anybody. So today, here I am in my early 60s, and I'm no longer willing to, play roles that don't make sense for me. We all play roles in our lives. And, as young people, we do jobs that, maybe they don't float our boat, but, you need to do it. And, even today, you still do certain things you have to do. But, what is our sole purpose? What are we here to do? And when we get to a certain point, we're like, you know what? I ain't going back to just doing that, even though it might pay well, even though it's fun to do. Let's go ahead and make a difference in this world. And, let's do what we're here to do as our sole purpose and our sole alignment. So that is it. Now, I have seen Wanda in the back room, and she's been I'm hoping that her internet is working. I'm a little bit concerned. I'm thinking, so I want to bring her on board and see, but I'm not 100% certain whether she's got a good connection. So I guess we're just going to have to give that a try. But as I do that, before I do that, let's just say that that's my monologue on pretending, and we'll wrap that up, and we're all pretenders in a certain way, but as long as it's not hurting anybody, that's okay. All righty. So let's go ahead and welcome Wanda to the American Gumption Morning Show. Wanda, are you with us today? So I see, now I've got 3 Wandas joining us. All righty. Hello, Wanda. How you doing?
I really don't know. You keep going in and out. I'm not around my router.
So
can you hear me?
I do.
I'm going in and out.
I can hear you. So we do not have a great connection. That is for certain. And I'm not sure what's going on. I don't think we'll be able to do the interview if this doesn't get resolved.
I have no idea. I keep getting kicked off.
Go ahead and say that one more time.
And I can't even hear what you're saying right now. I'm so sorry. I'm so disappointed.
Yeah, I think what we'll have to do is, because there's something I've been, as I was doing the monologue this morning, I could see that you were dropping in and out. You just dropped out again now. Somehow or another, we do not have a good connection. There she goes. She's disappeared. So I'm going to just go ahead and say that we're going to have to, reschedule this interview with Wanda, because it just doesn't seem like we're connecting properly. And that's disappointing because we were looking forward to this. I do see her, kind of reappearing one more time. So what we'll do is we'll probably just go ahead and end this show shorter than what we normally would do. I'm going to try to bring up Wanda one more time and see if she's there. You're back, but again, we don't have a stable connection where we're able to communicate, because you're frozen there, miss, unfortunately. I've changed the banner below. So Reverend Wanda Richert is an activist for humanity, and she was in Broadway for many years. And I have a great story to share with about who Wanda is. Yeah, it's just you're breaking up, and we just do not have a stable connection to make this work. And I don't know whether that's on my end or your end, but I think we're going to have to just reschedule this, because it doesn't seem to be working properly. Unfortunately. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to have to make that executive decision and say that we'll reschedule Wanda. We'll make sure the technology is working better, and then we'll just go from there. So I think what we'll do is we'll just wrap up today's show because I don't have anything else planned. But we'll bring back Wanda, we'll reschedule it, and we'll just make sure that the technology works. So anyway, tomorrow, I plan to be here, probably a monologue only show. Thursday, Scott Stanfield, the modern longevitarian, he comes back to join us again. And then next week, I have a couple of guests scheduled. I'll tell you more about them through the week. So sorry about the technology glitch and having to reschedule Reverend Wanda Richert, but that's the way things go. Hey, you got to roll with the punches. So there you go. All righty, that's it. I'll see you guys tomorrow.